Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I've done this semi-cut crease in pink and with a berry lip. So if you want to learn how to recreate it, then keep on watching. As always, I started by priming my eyes. I've already have my foundation done. I used Soft Ocher by MAC to prime them, and over top I used a translucent powder to set that base. And as for a transition shade, I used that peachy tone shade, and I will apply this as a transition shade on my crease. I will be blending upwards and bringing this shade all the way in and all the way out. And now moving on to our pink shade, I will be using this coral shade, and I will be applying this directly on my crease. Oh yes, and by the way, I'm using the Morphe palette in I forgot the number, but I will put it down in the description box for you guys. And to give this look a little more depth, I used that shade that was like 2 tones darker than that first second coral shade I used, and I applied this also on my crease and blended this with my other 2 shades. I blended this in circular motions and windshield wiper motions. Then I felt that I needed something darker on my lids, so I used this shade by Makeup Forever, and I focused this shade on my outer corners, and whatever was left on the brush, I brought it in towards my tear duct. And yes, I made sure I blended this shade in with my other shades. After I placed that color down and blended what I could, I moved on with that first brush I used on my crease with the peachy tone shade, and I blended everything out with no additional product on the brush. I highlighted my brow bone, and I used this concealer by NYX to clean up my lid and to create that semi-cut crease. Then I used MakeupGeek's foiled eyeshadow in Whimsical, and I applied this with my finger because that's how it's best applied and that's how you get the most pigmentation on your lids. Then I moved on to my bottom lash line. I used that second coral shade and I buffed that on my lower lash line, and then I took the darker toned red, the one from Makeup Forever, and I applied that very close to my lashes with a flat brush, and then I went ahead and blended those 2 shades together. But then I wanted to line my waterline, so I used a black liner for that. And when you feel you can't get enough smokiness down there, you apply more black eyeshadow. Just kidding. I used a little bit of black eyeshadow to blend that liner onto my dark toned eyeshadow. Then I coated my lashes with some mascara, and I moved on to contouring my face. I applied this on the hollows of my cheeks, around the perimeter of my forehead. And of course, I contoured my nose a little just to slim it down some. And I used a neutral toned blush for my cheeks because I have a lot going on with my eyes, and I will also have a really dark lip. And to bring this look more to life, I highlighted and I applied this on the tip of my nose, down the bridge of my nose, my cupid's bow, and any areas you just want to highlight. If you want to highlight your whole face, go ahead and do it, girl. You do you. And for my lips, I used Fuchsia by Wet&Wild. They're matte liquid lipsticks, catsuit matte liquid lipsticks. And yes, then I used this liner by NYX, and I outlined the semi-cut crease, or just lined that little part right there. And I also drew a line down my bottom lip, the middle of my bottom lip. And this ties this whole look together. Hope you guys liked it. Give me a thumbs up if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.